goal of any nonprofit organization is having the ability to be able to quantify why they should exist, right? And I think that at the end of the day trickles down to how are we directly impacting people. And the pieces of the puzzle finally came together. So Lighten Up Dispensary, they're a licensed provisioning center in the state of Michigan.
I want to welcome everybody to our special edition today of November 11th, 2021, Veterans Day. Dave is not going to be able to join us in person today, but I know he's on the line listening to us, so he'll give us a critique, I'm sure, when we're all done, and that'll be fun to hear his little critique from that point of view.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah. But iHemp Michigan is a Michigan-based, member-based organization representing farmers, seed cultivators, processors, manufacturers in the hemp business. Our members are engaged in defining industry hemp's path to success from seed to sale and beyond. We are committed to empowering hemp farmers, fueling industry leaders, and educating consumers to ensure hemp flourishes in the Midwest. We work to promote the responsible and fair regulations, promote grower education, and enable full access to evolving marketplaces. iHemp Michigan advocates for the wellness of people and the planet through hemp, and it begins with the farmer. So, Mike, why don't we talk a little bit about what went on your world today and what you're going to have coming up?
Yeah, we just put out the Michigan Marijuana Report newsletter this morning, and a couple of items in there I thought were kind of interesting, particularly tying in with today's Veterans Day, of course. Is a greenhouse of Walled Lake is looking to hire veterans as cannabis delivery drivers, and pretty good money there, about $50,000 a year to be a delivery driver. And you got to reach out to those folks. If you look at mimarijuanareport.com, you'll get the information where you can submit an application. Obviously, you need a driver's license, a few other things, and but I'm not going to speak for them. They're the ones doing the screening, but it is an opportunity for veterans to make pretty good money, actually, and delivering cannabis. So we want to make sure that you're all aware of that. The other thing I found really interesting is there's a story that we published that down along the Indiana border, there are around Aurora, Indiana, there are just across the border a number of cannabis dispensaries, and they're saying that about 60% of the people using those dispensaries are from Indiana, which of course does not have adult use. I don't even think they have medical either. So them Hoosiers, they like to come up there and have a good time in Michigan, right? So we love that. It brings us more money. What the heck? Because 16% of every dollar spent goes to some taxing authority in Michigan. So that's a good thing. And then, we had a show on my show, 420 Post, where for 3 weeks in a row, we had various banks that would work with cannabis and hemp companies. And now there's another one I've just learned about called Lake Trust Credit Union. And they're the fourth one that I'm aware of in the state, where if you are a cannabis or a hemp company, you can, legally get the bank, or in this case, the credit union, to work with you. Because as we all know, marijuana is still a Schedule I drug, and the big banks can lose their licenses if it looks like they're, laundering money for cannabis companies or whatever it is they use as an excuse. So there are banks out there that will work with you. And I know that's been an issue for a lot of folks out there. They've had to change their name so there's nothing that relates to cannabis or hemp in the names so that they could get banking, and now you don't have to worry about that. So that's the main things. Other than this week, of course, I've been using my Monday show, MI Tech TV, and my Wednesday show, 420 Post, to promote the Hero Project. And I'm the president of the board and sort of the lead publicist here at this point. And so the Hero Project is a 501c3 that we've set up to work with the cannabis and hemp community to take a portion of their revenues and donate it to the Hero Project. The money actually goes to the Canada Social Equity Fund. So we don't actually see any of the money. It goes to a separate organization. And then once we get a nice pot of money together, hopefully by spring, then we'll be seeking requests for proposals from various veterans service organizations to use that money to support veterans. That's what the show is going to be about today. So back to you, Blaine, so you can do the introductions of some of the board members and advisors on HERO.
All right. Well, we'll do that in just a second. I got a little bit of news, and I'm going to take a little bit of credit there, Mike, for your latest bank that came in on that. Lake Michigan Credit or Lake Trust Credit Union.
Yeah.
I've actually been with them for a long time, and I've been working with them and finally was able to secure some loans this year besides my regular banking I do with them. And so I'm going to take a little credit for that, for getting Hemp involved and for them being
all right.
Yeah. So, yeah, great bank, great people, and fun to work with. So if you're looking for a good bank, I can highly recommend them. That's for sure. Let's see what we got for news. Well, one of the first things I'm going to bring up for news is that we have the Midwest iHemp Expo coming up in January 21st and 22nd in Lansing. Going to be a great time, a lot of good exhibitors and a lot of great speakers. That information is located on the website, MidwestIHempExpo.com. Also on January 20th, for those that are looking to get certified, third-party certified, whether it be GAMPS, organic, or what it is, Food Chain ID and the U.S. Hemp Authority is going to be having a class on the 20th. That's Thursday at the Radisson in Lansing. There's a little cost involved with that, but if you're looking to get certified, it's a great way to get how to get certified and how to go down that road. It's really affordable. If you've looked at other classes that they have, sometimes these things can cost thousands of dollars. It's $400 if you're not an iHemp member, and it's $300 if you are an iHemp member. So, and again, membership has its benefits, and that's one of them where you get a little break on that price. So, looking at that, also in December, we've got the Hemp at the Crossroads. So that's coming up as well. And let's see what else we got. Oh, we talked about the Delta 8 controversy. A lot of stuff came out last week on that. We're not going to talk too much on that at all today, but just to let you know that the DEA's decision there certainly has created a stir in the community for sure. Also, if you're a farmer doing fruits and vegetables and you have not done a food safety plan for your farm, National Farmers Union, who's one of our members and we partner with them, right now we can offer a free service to be able to do your handbook, your SOPs, and get you ready for any audits that you may want to do or might have in the future. So that's a free service that we're able to offer through a grant that we've got. So National Farmers Union, Michigan National Farmers Union, you can contact me and we can get you set up for that and free. And again, those are things that cost thousands of dollars to get accomplished. And so we got some real great things to give you a good price on that. We'll have some more information at the end of the show, Mike, that I'll bring out. But right now, I think we'll get into the show. And we want to welcome Anton and Rob. And thanks, guys, for taking time out of this day. And again, I want to thank you, as everybody does, for your service that you've done and that you continue to do. We really appreciate that very much. If it wasn't for what you do, we all couldn't do what we do. So today is Veterans Day, Thursday, November 11th, 2021. Mike Brennan has many talents. I've been told that many times by him. One being the president of the HERO Project and the board of directors. Anton Harb Jr. is a disabled Iraqi war vet, and the face of the HERO Project, USA.org. Anton is a retired Army artillery officer who uses cannabis to cope with his PTSD and still does. He's also a caregiver. Anton will all talk about the veterans deal with not only with mental and physical disabilities, but also the lack of adequate housing, unemployment, and more. Rob Robar is the founder of the HelpingFriendlySalve.com company, and is a CBD and smokable hemp distributor to 1,500 clients nationwide. He has developed a line of HERO full-spectrum gummies he describes as giving customers a warm hug. Rob is the first hemp distributor who has partnered with the HERO Project. So, Mike, I'm going to turn it back over to you because you have a lot of knowledge on this topic. So,
well, I hope so. Yeah, I may be corrected by my board members, but I do the best that I can. Let's start with Anton. Anton is our. We have a lot of board members. None of us, except for Anton, is a vet. We all support vets for a variety of reasons. All have parents, grandparents, cousins, nephews that have served. And Anton has served. He served in Iraq back in middle of the 04, 05 era. And I've discovered, I mean, that there's a lot of issues with vets that the general public may not be aware of. And I'm not the one to speak to that. I'm going to let Anton take it from here and kind of describe, as Dan Keelan said on Wednesday, there's all these 7 different areas that vets are dealing with. And so, but one of them, of course, is mental and physical disabilities. And that's where CBD and marijuana can come in, right?
Well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate the invite to be on the show, and happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. My name's Anton Harb Jr. And you're right, Mike. I was a former field artillery officer. I was a lieutenant in the Army. I served in northern Iraq in 2005. I got out in 2007, and I was medically retired due to the experiences of Iraq. This is a great show. I appreciate the whole hemp angle and the Veterans Day and the cannabis, and it's all starting to tie together. So as a veteran, I came to Michigan in 2013, and I was pretty broken. I was suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. The only options at the time were really to go to the VA and be prescribed pills. I was on a series of opiates and benzodiazepines and antipsychotics and all these different poisons that were pumped into me for years, because that was what the doctor said was hell. That's what I needed to do to get better. And through Hero Project, what I'm trying to accomplish is to quantify what better actually means. And I think for me, that all comes back to a quality of life. I did a write-up on my personal Facebook page this morning. It just kind of takes me back, and the thought of the sacrifice we make as Americans. We take an 18-year-old child and we will put them in scenarios. They're not old enough to drink a beer and they're not old enough to smoke a joint, but we will take that child whose brain has not even fully developed, and we will put them in situations to do awful, horrible things. And those experiences have a lasting effect on your brain. It changes your brain. And when you come back, you are not the same. And I think the support structure that veterans were always told we could rely on, the reality is they're not there. A lot of our government resources is just with the bureaucratic red tape. People are not getting the care they need when they should be getting it. And that's where the cannabis community has really come out, and Hero Project in supporting veterans to offer this alternative substance and community and culture that a veteran can come to rely on. And for me personally, I was on 22 medications, and I've dwindled that down significantly because of medical cannabis and CBD from hemp. And Rob Robar, his Hero Chews, I slept like a baby. So kudos to Rob for putting those out there. But the struggles are real. There's social equity issues to be. I'm currently working. I'm in a consumer connection work group with Director Andrew Brisboe and Michigan Normal and Americans for Safe Access, and we've come together as a group, and we're just now starting to identify a lot of the issues that veterans are facing in the cannabis space. I just had somebody texted me this morning and brought up a great point. Like, what about our veterans this Veterans Day who weren't able to enjoy an honorable discharge for their service because they were discharged for cannabis use or cannabis possession? They received these other than honorable discharges. And, there are equity issues all throughout the cannabis and hemp space. And, I'm here to hopefully highlight some of those things and see what we can do.
I was not even aware of that last one. Now we'll have to bring that up as what that'll be the 8th brick on the wall. I didn't make that connection, but now that you bring it up, I have heard of that. So you also brought up Rob Robar. I want to bring him in now. He's our CBD supplier. He's actually gone out of his way and spent a whole lot of money on Hero packaging and producing a product, a full spectrum gummy that Anton likes real well. And Anton's our sort of test subject for these things. But talk a little bit, Rob, about what you're doing. And maybe this may be the first time folks in the hemp community have heard of your company. So maybe start there.
Thanks for having me first off. And again, happy Veterans Day to everybody out there, anybody who served or anything like that. As far as it goes for, me and my company, the Helping Friendly Hemp Company, we've decided to get involved when we were approached early on about this, and just as simply a way to give back. It's something I believe in pretty deeply, just because I've always had a strong feeling about veterans when they return, seeing everything that's ever happened, the way they're treated, in ways, and it's a lot better than it used to be, as far as everybody's recognition of things. But I think now is just kind of the time to help, kind of what Anton hit on, cannabis use amongst veterans is a very important thing, mostly to help them navigate the world, find ways away from prescription pharmaceuticals. I'm not a veteran, however, I am a chronic pain patient. In all that, I've also had to deal with a lot of different things too, that have kind of led me to have just a sympathetic ear to a lot of people and what they've been kind of going through. I've seen my own family members struggle who are veterans, and it's always been hard. So one way for me was obviously just a way for me to do something more and to be involved in something that could be, much greater and have a greater impact than even just the word CBD or hemp or, cannabis even. Help bring a lot of this normalcy that we're all kind of using and having about it. It's just, I always say, I've been saying this a lot lately on a couple different fronts, but the time is now. And just one of those things I've worked really hard to try to help promote, what we've been trying to do here. And, we've donated a lot of product, a lot of, packaging and whatever. That's just what it is. But we want, being available across the nation is one thing for us. And then donating 10% of every pack to, directly to Hero has been something that's been very important for us. It's finally starting to pick up a little bit. We've got a sale going on right now today, throughout the weekend on those packs on our website, 30% off. And also another thing that we have that I'll mention, that any veteran who would like to apply for assistance program through my company, just simply hit us up on an email or visit the website, and there's a pin post at the top. It kind of gives a little bit of layout of what you need to submit, but we can get you set up on a permanent discount plan, just to help out if it helps. So anyways.
Rob, how about telling everybody how to get to your website, what your website is, or how to get contacted?
The website is thehelpingfriendlysalve.com.
Okay, pretty simple one then.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I actually have about 14 domains that lead to it, but that's the most common one.
Let me also mention that there's a parallel here between veteran and you. You are a chronic pain person, which would be somewhat of a parallel with many veterans. Why don't you tell your story of why you decided to get into CBDs and smokable hemp and all those other products?
Oh, well, it really started back when I started to have issues. And, I was got my card in 2010, my medical card here in Michigan. In 2000, I was 2 back surgeries back to back within less than about 8 months. Left my body pretty much numb from my knees down. So kind of led to a lot of things down the way that just kind of, when I got my card in 2010, I started to notice that my life changed. I noticed that I lost 180 pounds in a year.
Wow.
I was more active. Felt better. I left all pharmaceuticals behind at that point. I haven't touched them since. It's not made things easy because throughout my life, I've also been denied service or, medical services for my card.
Okay.
It's one of those things that's always been there. And I think that's part of my erasing the stigma portion of it. I've been very strong with the lack for a long time. So sorry.
Yeah, Rob's recovering from an illness, and so his voice isn't real strong this morning. And we were going to have him on a couple of our other shows earlier in the week. So this is his first appearance this week. So
yeah, no, I apologize. No, I am kind of recovering from a breakthrough case of COVID. So I'm on the mend though, so that's good. Feel good about that.
I don't know if you happen to have as a prop. Do you have one of those Hero Pack gummies handy there?
I completely don't. I went upstairs. I thought I might have one upstairs in my thing, but I don't.
Ah, okay.
Rob,
All right.
Rob, why don't you stand up just for a second so we can see your logo on your shirt? So that way people can see if they're at other stores, other dispensaries. That's the logo.
Oh yeah. Well, we're throughout Michigan. We're in about, I would say, easily 60% of operating dispensaries right now. Also, 1,500 stores nationwide, a lot of national distributors, things like that. So we're in a lot of places. I mean, pretty much guaranteeing it. You hit a dispensary in Michigan, chances are you're going to find us.
Now, Rob, do you have both THC and CBD products? Both?
It's CBD right now, but we are entering into THC hopefully by the end of this year. Probably going to be early next year.
Okay.
Just with a lot of the different changes that have kind of happened. With a couple of products that we were going to launch that.
Well, yeah, he was big in the Delta 8 space. And of course, that all changed on October 11th in Michigan. So,
yeah, we had that was going pretty good. But beyond that, we did learn today, though, the RMRA is saying that while we are unable to sell Delta 8 in this state, we can still ship it from here.
That's good news. All right.
So it kind of helps us out a lot.
It'll be interesting.
Even though it's hard to, our other products, our biggest thing really is our dispensary grade stuff right now. It's not really similar. This is an all vegan gummy. It's a little different than the other gummies that we put out, but it's also, they're 50 milligrams each, high in CBG, trying to give you that nice feeling. That's kind of where we really focused on right now. And those are moving really, really fast everywhere, selling out and moving fast.
And I think, Anton, you've tried those, haven't you, Anton? The dispensary grade?
Yeah, they're awesome. I love them. They had a great flavor. And again, I slept like a baby, which is hard for me to do as an insomniac. So kudos.
Good. That CBG and then, the CBN that's in it too, because they're a full spectrum product with a nice amount of CBN. And I always call it it is a full spectrum, but it's kind of we're modifying it a bit because we're boosting certain levels of things, of CBN, CBG, trying to get a little bit more out of it, keeping it all federally legal on the 0.3 total and all that stuff.
Well, Rob, hopefully things will change on that Delta 8 for you with this with DEA saying it's legal. So hopefully maybe we'll see a change here in Michigan, so you'll be able to do that then.
Yeah, and that might be why they're kind of, still, because they didn't ban it here. They just moved it under MRA, which, if I'm sure that it's not going to happen in this environment until these guys that are MRA licensees, who are also part of hemp operations, are able to grow enough of these minor cannabinoids to make it useful. You know what I mean? They said they didn't ban it, but then they made it so that no one has a real way to do it, except for some of the large farms. That's kind of the thing I get kind of a little bit worked up about on that, because it just seems like, it's okay if somebody can grow it, but not us.
Yeah.
Full panel testing. We pass all Michigan standards on all of our products. So it's, that's cannabis standards.
You're talking to hemp farmers right now, so I would encourage them to reach out to Rob, because he's trying to do the things right here, but he needs more product, right? So,
well, I mean, like I say, we got this dispensary graders are moved from Delta 8 nationally. It's just kind of the way it is. I don't really, personally not into chasing all the other, THC acetate and HHC, all that stuff. I'm not chasing with my company. So if we did Delta 8, we feel safe at Delta 8. We start going beyond that to Delta 10. We start going and into, TCHO. It's something I don't really feel safe with that shit. Sorry.
Rob, are you able to source most of your material here from Michigan, or do you get it from the Midwest?
Right now, most of it actually is coming out of Massachusetts. Most of our oil, because that's the only place we've been able to find honest. I've got a friend of mine out there who runs a Bay State Hemp out in Massachusetts. I do a lot of branding and design for him. But he's spent about the last 4 years developing a processing lab, or there in Massachusetts, to simply focus on minors. So our supply chain is pretty strong from that point, but it is mostly sourced out of New England hemp right now. There's some of it is out of Wisconsin as well. And we're always looking to talk to people who can provide, a good solid source of oil and stuff like that from Michigan.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully maybe we'll have some people today that maybe will be able to contact you. Now, the best way to contact you then would be through your website, I assume, or is there?
Yeah, just hit me up through there.
Okay.
On all the social media stuff and all that.
Okay.
I also wanted to mention that despite the fact that we haven't raised a lot of money as of yet, we're doing a program on November 20th at Light 'em Up in Flint. Anton, why don't you address that? You set that deal up, explain how that's going to work.
Sure. Yeah, I think the goal of any nonprofit organization is having the ability to be able to quantify why they should exist, right? And I think that at the end of the day trickles down to how are we directly impacting people. And the pieces of the puzzle finally came together. So Lighten Up Dispensary, they're a licensed provisioning center in the state of Michigan, and they are the only locally veteran-owned dispensary that we've been able to put our finger on. They reached out to me Kyle Cohey reached out to me about a week and a half ago and asked. He came up with the idea of, hey, we had the idea, we wanted to give away 100 turkeys this holiday season. And he says, now we're making it 1,000. And we want to partner with the Hero Project to make this come to fruition. And I thought, well, like, how cool is that? So you have the only veteran cannabis related, or one of the only veteran cannabis related nonprofits in the United States, teaming up with the only veteran locally owned dispensary in the state of Michigan to get together and give back to Flint, Michigan, which is one of the most disadvantaged areas in the United States. We're living in a time where things like turkey are a commodity that not everybody has access to. We have shortages of food. We have inflation where food has become inaccessible. I mean, every American family should have a Thanksgiving turkey, period, right? And I think we're living in a time where that's not happening. So in partnership with Lighten Up, who's basically brought the cannabis community together, there are several donors who have been donating either money or product or turkeys to be able to make this jump off. So the 20th of November, between the hours of 10 a.m. and 8 p.m., we will be at the Lighten Up Provisioning Center in Flint, Michigan. And the response has been overwhelming from the cannabis community. We've had Robin Schneider from the MICIA, who we're very thankful for her presence in the community, and she's stepped up to, I believe, make a donation, and they're volunteering their time. Michigan Normal, Rick Thompson, has stated that he's going to be there. I heard yesterday that we can also expect Director Andrew Brisboe from the MRA to make an appearance. So what this is about, this is more than a turkey giveaway. This is about the cannabis community and the hemp community coming together for something that is greater than ourselves. We're going into a community at a time where people need our help. And it's not just veterans giving back to veterans. This is veterans coming together to give back to their community. We're a community where we serve. That's what we're about. And I think November 20th is going to be a great example of what that service can translate to, and erasing some of the stigma around cannabis, especially among the veteran community. I'm excited to see what's going to take place. We're going to have coffee and hot chocolate for everyone that's standing there. It's anybody who's 18 and older is free to come out and get a turkey. I'm trying to work with Genesee County Veteran Affairs now to, I mean, if we can get veterans bused in, I'd like a DAV bus full of veterans to show up and come out and get their turkey. So right now, this blew up into something that was really didn't mean to be this big, but it's the right thing to do.
And what we've done is to work through the fund that works with us, the Cannabis Social Equity Fund. Connie Sparrow, Shout out to her. The queen of the paperwork got all this done within days. I was amazed because Anton came to me and he said, "What do you think?" And I go, "Love it, but how do we pull it off?" And I said, "Let me defer to Connie." And it was like she's back to me the same day and said, "No problem, we can do this." So that's the first effort there. But that's an example of what we want to do moving forward. The big thing is, certainly we've had this discussion internally. You can give a veteran a can of soup or some money and they'll eat for a day or two, but that's not really what we're going after here. We really want to change their lives. We want to be able to provide the mental health counseling and all the rest. We want to be able to provide the medicines, some of which would contain THC. I know Anton has mentioned a lot of the vets want a little touch of THC in there as well, which is fine. Rob's working on that. But the other thing that we'd like to do, and I mentioned it, we should mention Valorcraft at this point. Valorcraft is the only, there may be others, but the only one we're currently aware of that's a veteran-owned grow here in the state. Valorcraft is, I'm not sure what city they're in. Do you know, Anton?
I think they're north of here. I don't recall the exact city.
Yeah, right. In fact, they're doing an event today at Light 'em Up that we could talk about here in a moment, where for Veterans Day, a lot of discounts going on. They're going to be partnering there. But anyway, so Valorcraft is working with us. And when I mentioned to the CEO, James, I said, what we really like to see is and they already are hiring veterans, but I said, if you could hire more veterans, then we get them a job. They can get off the streets and have a nice place to live. They can have food on the table. They can have their medicine. And the psychologists and folks that we've been talking to said just being around the plants, if they're growing the cannabis, growing the hemp, whatever, that's a very calming thing for their PTSD. So that's the direction that we really want to go in. And not just going to be another charity out there giving away dollars. We actually want to help people. That's pretty much sums it up, right, Anton?
Yeah, and by help, when I think a lot of times people say, "Oh, thank you for your service. We'd love to help." And again, I like to quantify that. What does that mean? How is that actually going to help? And what Hero Project is doing, what's cool, is it's really connected the industry. I've been in Lansing, working with our lawmakers against these intrusive caregiver bills that have recently been introduced, is trying to overturn our caregiver laws. So the veterans, we haven't had a voice. We've had our medical law 12 years, and veterans have been pretty much left out in the cold. We're not listed in any of the social equity programs, and really, I think that inequality was recognized by the community, and folks like Rick Thompson and Robin Schneider have been awesome in trying to help get me to the table to express a lot of these concerns, because the concerns that veterans have are often unique. Other than our service, disability is what defines us as a demographic, and I don't think people realize that. Veterans are disabled from all kinds of things, and we're Black, we're brown, we're Asian, we come from all races, creeds, and colors, but disability is really what singles us out as a demographic, and trying to highlight those things and address these things within legislation and educating the cannabis licensees. Veterans, even employment within the cannabis and hemp space. Hemp being legal makes it a little easier, but think about veterans who want to get a job and they want to work in the cannabis space, and they can't because they can't access a VA loan, because the VA loan won't approve them if they're working for a cannabis company, or things like small business loans. How are we going to make things equitable when we don't allow veterans? First of all, we don't have equal access to licenses like the rest of the social equity community. And when we do, we don't have access to the capital because you won't let us get a loan because it's federal, right? So I think there's a lot of these barriers that people don't realize that are unique to the veteran community. And the caregiver community in our state is extremely important. And between our licensees and our caregiver community, hopefully we can come up with enough access for veterans who either don't have the means financially, or the means, physically to get to some of these places.
So I'm going to bring it up. So there's no registration that needs to be done for these turkeys. You just need to show up at the Light 'em Up dispensary on Saturday, the 20th.
Mm-hmm.
Between,
Yes.
you said 8
And it's right there. It's just where 23 and 75 come together. I can't recall the exit, but it's what's it?
I've got the address is 1484 Pier Boulevard, Suite A in Flint.
Yeah. So for me in Ann Arbor, I just shoot straight up 23 and boom, I'm there in an hour, Speaking of which, I'll be there and most of the Hero board there. I'm not sure where Rob will be. Hopefully he'll be healthy by then. But we got folks coming in from Muskegon. Jamie Cooper from the Sensi Magazine's coming in with her crew. We've solicited, they have a logistical issue. They have 1,000 turkeys they want to give away in a short period of time, and they have to do 3 turkeys a minute. So that's going to be a little tricky working out. But hopefully we'll get it done. But then if there's a carryover, actually the campaign goes on both Saturday and Sunday. So I don't know we'll do 1,000 on Saturday, but you can get as close as you can, and then there'll be more on Sunday, we think. But who knows, So, but no, you don't have to register. Once you're there, you just have to prove you're 18. I think everybody on this crew has got that covered.
There's a waiver as well. They have to sign a waiver, and that's it. Yep.
Yeah, and then a turkey. But I mean, Flint, as we all know, Flint it's a pretty disadvantaged city. So we're hoping, and this is not just for folks in the veteran community only or the cannabis community only. It's people of Flint we're giving this opportunity to, no matter what their background is, to get a turkey for Thanksgiving. And these are not, cheapy little tiny turkeys. I mean, this is nice turkey. And so I don't know about you, but in my family, a turkey, man, we can make that stretch for 3-4 days afterwards with all the turkey hash and turkey this and all that jazz. So hopefully we're feeding a family for several days. Now it's the start. It's not where we, and next year they're hoping that maybe we do 5,000 turkeys, and then who knows? But I mean, what it does is it's brought and we invite the hemp community to join us. It's brought the cannabis community together to do something really nice for the holidays.
I'm chuckling a little bit because about the turkey giveaway. This is now it's going to date me a little bit, but if everyone remembers Cleveland, with the WKRP in Cleveland.
Yeah, we don't drop them from an airplane because we know they don't fly. So these are not live turkeys; they've already been processed, shall we say? I think they're probably frozen too. I would imagine, right? And the other thing that's nice about this is all the various donors at Light 'em Up, which are mostly cannabis brands, have donated money, and then the owners of Light 'em Up have gone to the local grocery to order these 1,000 turkeys. So it's the money's staying in the Flint community. I think that's also a nice thing.
Absolutely. Keep it local when we can, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Now the Hero Project, let me ask you a couple questions because I'm the outsider here, right? Like you are sometimes, Mike, on ours. So the Hero Project really started here in Michigan, correct?
Oh, yeah, we're 501c3. Dan Keelan and I started this about a year ago. And I'm an internet guy. I'm used to doing 90-day startups. That's not what you do in the nonprofit world, I've discovered. We have a nice foundation laid right now. We got the paperwork from IRS. We're a certified 501c3. We are working with the Canna Coalition to handle the money part. None of us get paid. This is volunteer. Eventually we'll have to have a staff. This gets big, but we're nowhere near that point. So we're not even looking at that. It started right here. I've heard actually from people in different places around the country that are intrigued with what we're doing and want to take a look at it. So who knows? Maybe, certainly there's no prohibition from us working in the other 49 states. And Anton is such a great spokesperson and knows the veteran community much better than we do, that I'm really optimistic this is going to go national next year.
I want you to know that at the Midwest iHemp Expo, we always do a kind of a auction at the end of all the products that are sent in for the Hempy Awards. And so for this year, we've chosen the Hero Project to receive those funds from that auction that we're going to have in January. So
Oh, well, that's wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank
Awesome.
you. We appreciate that. That's
Very cool.
very generous.
remember, when you bid often and bid high, right? That's yeah.
Great. Awesome
I know it's
stuff.
going to go to a great project, and we're glad that we can help support that. So just wanted to
Yeah. So, Rob, go ahead. You looked like you wanted to say something.
No, it's awesome. It's awesome stuff.
And I know, Rob, the other thing Rob's looking for, I don't know if you found it yet, he's looking for a THC supplier to blend in. Now, let's talk a little bit about that, Anton, in the sense of, you know, what the veterans' tastes are, what they need. And we've had this conversation several times. Certainly CBD is wonderful, but it's a little bit of THC is also part of what veterans are looking for, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's a matter of me being able to identify what they need. It's more about educating them on themselves being to identify what they need. And I think education on this plant, it's not as simple as sativa or indica or CBD or THC. There's a lot of education, especially when you're trying to medicinally treat somebody. How the different terpenes react, how different levels of THC and CBD interact with each other, and that entourage effect that we're looking. Because remember, at the end of the day, we're not looking to get high, we're looking for relief. And whatever that relief manifests into, whether it's anxiety relief or pain relief or relief from hunger, if that veteran, I was with all the opiates the VA had me on at one point, I couldn't eat. So for me, cannabis was a gateway to be able to get hungry and actually gain some weight. So the THC, it's more complicated than I believe people lead it on to believe. And the education that we give is what's going to ensure that veterans are having good experiences with these products, because just like any other medication, if you try it and it makes you sicker, you're not going to mess with it. So we need to make sure we're doing things like not providing cultivars that are inducing anxiety or panic in a veteran with PTSD, but that we are, higher levels of CBN to help people sleep, and just get that general education material out there.
And I know Rob knows more about the chemistry, and maybe you can address that a little bit. What kind of mixtures you're looking to create?
Well, as we enter into the regulated THC market, really our goal has not really to chase the high THC content stuff. Work much more within the realm of ratio products, 1-on-1s, 2-3-on-1s, or 1-on-3s, or whatever, different ways that we can help people. Basically what we're doing now within the hemp space, and not worry about being hot, is what I usually tell people, is that then we can kind of go more into the 4% THC 5 or something like that, not too much, just a little bit. It'll help make all those other cannabinoids smack. And it's kind of the game. I see a lot of other companies kind of moving that way a little bit. We've always promoted, using our smokable hemp flower as a way to help extend and, also help enhance, their normal THC consumption. So if anybody's out there entering into a dispensary for the first time, revisiting cannabis again, all this kind of stuff, we all know, like Anton hit, a lot of these strains that hit up into 32s on a normal flower level are probably a little too much for most people coming into the scene. Taking a little bit of hemp flower, mixing it in together and giving it, basically a 1-on-1 type of effect, get much more body relief out of it. And you're going to find a lot more relief on both sides of things and not so much head high. But something we've always done with that. So we just want to carry through what we've done in the last 7 years here, and with the company in the hemp space, to be able to move it forward, to my dream, which has been a THC company. So, and that's been my thing since day one. And growing the brand nationally, hemp-wise, has been, big part of that. So that as we do, and we have a provider right now, we're just working our way through our mixes and things like that, and what product offerings we're going to be opening with, basically. That's where we're at with all that.
Well, you always keep reinventing, right? You always got to keep moving forward. That's for sure.
You always got to keep going. That's the thing. And my mantra, ever since I started all of this with my company has been, don't stop, just keep going. All the back and forth that we've had in the hemp industry, over legal, Michigan pulls it on us. I went from something first year making about $25,000 on my own, running the company, to $500,000 and then cutting it out on us. And then everybody just kept selling. And then we got back into it, and it took us a long time to get back, back in the thing, train, as they say. And after that, we just, we grew and grew and grew throughout the next 3, 4, 5 years, like banking. Couldn't get banking anywhere. Couldn't get merchant processing is actually the hardest thing. And even that isn't easy even today. There's a lot more providers, but even Square, was booting everybody off for all that time. I got kicked off Square. Then one day they called me and said, no, actually they didn't kick me off. I got a call one day from Square saying, hey, we'd like to add you to our CBD beta program. And he goes, and then they went through and told me every bottom money that I've run through it. They already knew it all. So I said, as he answered me, I said, by me answering yes to any of these questions, is it going to keep me from getting merchant processing? And he's like, oh no, we already know it all. It's all good.
They got your books. They already know, right?
Talk to them about it. They'll just shut you right down, and you'll never get a service again with them. And it's not cheap. That's the thing. Our swipe fees are a lot more than they should be. It costs a lot of money to do it, but it allows us to do it. We actually just got a new merchant processor now.
Well, and even cannabis banking is not cheap. And the reason the bankers tell us is because they have to do so much compliance with state and federal and everybody else. All these government officials want to see exactly what's going on. There's still that, that stigma out there that cannabis is that evil weed and, reefer madness. And it really is an educational process. The hemp community is going through the same thing, right, Blaine?
Absolutely. Like Dave keeps saying, he always gets that question about his Frisbees, will it get you stoned?
Somebody was saying how much THC is in the Frisbees. Like, what do you eat the Frisbee? So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Little by little, right? We're getting it. We need Congress to do some things that we've hired them to do. One is to pass a timely budget, but besides that, we need them to to get this Safe Banking Act passed and get some of this taken care of so we don't have these problems. It's terrible making criminals out of people that aren't criminals, but that's for another topic on another day, I guess. So
yeah. So
everyone there. So well, Anton, anything we're going to wrap up here? We're just about getting to the close. Anything we can wrap up with you, and can you let people know how to get a hold or how to get a hold of the Hero Project?
Absolutely. Anybody that wants to get a hold of me, my email address is aharb, so it's AHARB as in boy, at heroprojectusa.org. That's my email. I'm pretty timely with my responses. I appreciate the support of the hemp industry. I think it's an important space. I think we focus on the CBD medicinal portion of things. I'm far more fascinated with the sustainable side of things, the concretes and the plastics, and just the infrastructure donation that hemp is going to provide to our country for years to come. So I support what you guys are doing. I support our farmers, and as a community between the hemp and the cannabis space, I think hopefully we can help a few folks out. And I think there's a lot more good players in the industry than there are bad. And as long as we keep highlighting that, we're going to be okay at the end of the day.
Rob?
I don't know. Kind of said a lot there last minute.
No, I meant they want to know, how can folks reach out to your website, email address, things like that?
You can reach out to me. It's rob@thehelpingfriendlysalve.com. Is my work address, email address, and thehelpingfriendlysalve.com is the website. Like I said, we do got Veterans Day sale going on for this weekend on these hero packs. So I'd like to, if anybody wants to try them out, I strongly encourage you to. Good reports on it, just like Anton gave earlier, but across the board, a lot of people are really loving them. It's again, a very strong full spectrum gummy. So you definitely feel it.
And you mentioned that you love to work with the hemp community, and certainly you're looking for some THC folks to blend that into some of your products. Why don't you talk a little bit about that real quick one more time?
Like I said, we actually do have a processor right now, so and THC side. And as we move through with that, yeah, when we come through, I'd love to, probably in January here, be able to meet up a little bit more with people who are, local Michigan people who are growing oil, who are making oil, and basically like that, because that's what we need. That's what we use. We're not,
So Blaine, where could he go in January to meet a bunch of hemp
January?
people? I'm throwing this out to you, Blaine. I'm setting you up. So,
January. We're trying to get you.
yeah, right.
I think.
Well, wait a minute. I see a little sign there on your. That would be January 21st and 22nd, right?
See, I'm always backwards. There we go.
There we go.
That's it.
Yeah, that's a place right there. Yeah. Yeah, Rob, we'd love to have you come and have your work, have your display there and your products there for everybody to sample and see and be able to purchase. So we'd love to have you come play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got guys' emails and stuff like that. They sent me.
And we guarantee it'll be 70 degrees inside the Lansing Center. And the Radisson Hotel is connected by the Skywalk. So winter is not a factor here,
That's right. Yeah.
No.
I kind of promised 68 more than 70, Mike, but it's all right.
All right, we'll go with 68. Yeah, like that. Considering it'll be 18 outside or something, right?
Well, yeah, we'll see what it's like. Last year was or 2 years ago was kind of interesting. We had that the storm come in on Saturday, but we have a great lineup of speakers, and I think we're going to throw a little veteran thing in here. We got some openings yet that we can put in there, so we're going to work on doing that. And again, the Hempy Awards, everybody needs, if you're making any kind of hemp product, Rob, you need to enter your stuff for sure in this, if nothing else, right?
Yeah, I got that email today.
Yeah, so we can get that in there and people can find out about that. But again, a lot of the people that put in for the Hempy Awards, we asked them if they would provide one other sample of their product so that we could put it in unopened products, so we could put it in the auction. And the money we raise from that will all go towards the Hero USA project. So.
Awesome.
And we do appreciate that. We're still a nascent nonprofit. And for a guy that's never done a nonprofit, it's been a eye-opening experience. So, but I mean, I think we can take some of the stuff that we learn in the profit world and bring it to the nonprofit to make it work better. But again, it'll take a little time to get our ducks in a row. But the main thing we need is folks that selling product that will donate a very small portion of those sales to Hero, and that'll really kickstart everything. That's like Rob's doing. That's exactly what we're looking for. So any folks out there in the hemp community that would like to learn more, reach out to me. I'm pretty easy to find, Mike at heroprojectusa.org, or you can reach out to Anton or Rob for that matter.
So heroprojectusa.org is the place to find out. All right.
And I want you guys to stick around. The best part of the show is coming up, right, Blaine?
Absolutely. Absolutely it is. So just a little bit more other news. Again, I want to remind everybody, if you're a processor, that your processing license need to be renewed here at the end of this month. So make sure you get that in on time. Otherwise, there'll be a little late fee they're going to charge on that. So no sense.
You also, sorry, Blaine, and if people, I don't know if, I wanted to toss in on that subject.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry for interrupting you.
No.
Some people may notice that application looks different this year.
Okay.
It's a totally different application.
Oh.
They're asking for a few more things.
Ah.
That
Such as what?
There's some very strange wording in that document too. I'll put that out there.
All right. Well, I haven't even looked at mine yet. I know I got to get it ddone. So I guess that'll go on my list today to take.
It's a little different than last year. It's pretty much the same info, but they're basically, the whole giving permission at any point to come inspect, do testing on any point of anything that you're basically just giving. You know what I mean? I think it was probably covered before, but now it's outlined and yes, I agree and all that stuff.
All right.
So I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, maybe that'll be a subject we'll have to bring up on next week's show. Then I'll take a look at that. So, absolutely, thank you, Rob, for passing that along. Because, again, I've not been timely. I know I got to do it, but I haven't done it yet. So, all right. So what else? Oh, we got your grower license. That goes on for a while, so you don't have to worry about that. If you're going to get another grower license, that's fine there. You got some time on that. Another thing is USDA has some assistance for people that are looking to get certified organic in that transitioning period. So if you just do a quick search on USDA pandemic support for certified organic, I'm sure that a lot of information will come up on there. It's a $500, $250 per certification category, but all helps, right? A little bit helps, a little bit helps here, a little bit helps there. So just some assistance you can get if you're trying to transition, or if you even are sort of organic right now. There's assistance with getting your keeping your certification up on that as well. So okay. Guys, again, Rob and Anton, I want to thank you very much for taking time out of your day. Anton, stand up for a minute. We haven't really seen your shirt.
Oh,
Show you yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
it says it's Operation Cherry Bend. Every time I do one of these shows, I try and highlight a different veteran service organization that did something for me. And Operation Cherry Bend is a pheasant farm in Wilmington, Ohio. They are farmers. And they are awesome people, and they have created every September we go down there and they have a big concert, and it's a week of bringing combat veterans from all over the country together, and we have community and fellowship, and we have a great time, and it's thank God for those folks. So I think oftentimes we want to heal people when really what they need is just some community and a joint maybe, and somebody to tell their story to, and that's what the folks at Operation Cherry Bend provide.
Oh, we should probably mention today too, speaking of Light 'em Up and Valorcraft, that they're working together at the Light 'em Up Provisioning Center in Flint to, I think, a bunch of veteran specials today. We'll do a quick commercial for them. So anybody in the Flint area, Light 'em Up, was it lightemup.com? I'm trying to remember exactly what it is.
I know it's Light 'em Up. Let me see if I still have it up here. It is lightemupprovisioning.com.
Okay. So if you're in Flint, check it out. Lots of veteran discounts today. You get to meet, then you'll know where to go for your turkey next week. And you get to meet the folks from Valorcraft. So all veteran event today.
All right. Any last word, Rob or Anton, before we get into the closing moments of the show?
No, thank you for having me.
All right.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me too.
All right. Well, Rob, keep your recovery going, my man.
Thank you. I'm going to. I'm going to go to bed after. This is the longest I've been up in 8 days. 6 hours now.
All right. Well, you can go get a nap now. How's that?
I need to.
Deserved your
He's
nap.
got a nap buddy named Jedi that will be happy to sleep with him, right? So.
Oh yeah, he's up there snoring away right now. It's actually his birthday today too.
Oh, happy birthday, Jedi! His pug. So.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, guys. We appreciate that very much. Next week, we're going to be doing a live remote. One of the things from Rod Glupker's store in Fremont, the CBD store. So we're going to get some information out on that soon. Rob's going to offer some discounts for that day, and we'll see if we can have some giveaways to give at that particular showing. So that's what we're doing there. So again, thanks, guys. Anton, thanks a lot for your service, and everybody else that has done service for us. I know that it's been a long road for a lot of you guys to come back and recover from this and to get back into the real world, and we're hoping the best for you, and I'm glad that we found some way for you to get some relief through some of Rob's products. So that's great. That's great. All right, here we go. Here we go. Today's going to be a pretty simple and pretty easy one.
You might have to share that recipe.
Okay, I guess we're not gonna. I don't know how I'm gonna share that. We'll talk about this. We'll have it up on the site. Maybe I can quickly get to it. Let's see as we talk about it here.
You got to get somebody to open. You have to open up the share screen all. That's the administrator there.
Or maybe Jeff. Maybe if you can go to the site and bring it up under hemp recipes, because my computer is being very bad today. It's a bad computer day today for me. Here we go. I got it.
Okay.
Let me see if I can share here now. Is it up on the screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Oh,
you're
peanut butter
awesome.
milkshake. I like that already.
The healthiest, not just a peanut butter, Mike, the healthiest peanut butter milkshake. A fall favorite, serving 2, ready in 5 minutes. You know how I talk about things I want quick and easy? Well, that's pretty quick and easy. It's a good breakfast introduction. This recipe is by Simply Quinton, if I'm saying that. This healthy peanut butter milkshake is gluten-free and vegan, and it's arguably the tastiest milkshake you could ever have. Quinoa. Thank you. Thank you from behind the curtain. The ingredients is pretty simple. 3 frozen bananas. Make sure they're ripe, so you want them a little on the softer side. 1/4 cup of peanut butter, 1/2 cup of coconut milk, a dash of cinnamon, a dash of maple syrup, and I always like to add a little tablespoon of hemp hearts to mine, just to give it that healthy blend. That's what makes it the healthiest, Mike, is those hemp hearts. Pretty simple. You just take those frozen bananas, you put them in a blender, and you mix everything together. If you like a little more peanut butter, put a little more peanut butter in it. And if you like the organic, put the organic kind in. And then you just sprinkle the hemp hearts on the top as a little flavoring, or you can mix it in and have yourself a very healthy treat here for sure. So, yeah.
And where can they find this recipe, Blaine?
They can find this recipe on ihempmichigan.com/recipes, or if you just go to the ihempmichigan.com website, look under hemp recipes, you have all the recipes that we have done for the last year, certainly. There to be able to share and to be able to enjoy as you can, as you want to.
Okay.
All right. Well, so thanks, everybody. Everybody have a great Veterans Day today. And if you see a vet, thank a vet. That's for sure. And we'll see everybody next Thursday at noon.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.